Hello everybody and welcome to another week of Makers Monday. Of course, as soon as I hit go live, they decide to launch airplanes. So you can hear how loud it is. Living on a military base. Yep. Hopefully it's just one. We will see. Let's see here. Nope, more than one. Pretty loud out today. There we go. Yep. Let's see if there's another one going. Usually it's like 3, maybe 4. Let's see. Sounds like maybe just the 2. One went a little bit earlier. So, well, welcome everybody to another week of Makers Monday. Hopefully we don't have any loud jets taking off again in the middle of that, just like we did. I am Anastasia Radloff, aka Stampin' Blondie, and I am excited to be back here with you today for kind of a on-stage recap plus a sneak peek of the April 2026 Paper Pumpkin Kit. Now, a couple weeks ago, I attended Onstage, which is a demonstrator-only event held once a year by Stampin' Up! And how they do this is that they have 3 locations around the world. There's one, this year they had one in Sydney. There was one in Long Beach, California. I think they may be getting ready to launch another plane. Let's hope not. I can't tell. From the view of my craft room, I can't see the flight line. If I go out to my living room, I can, but I can only hear it, and right now it just sounds like it's kind of idling. So hopefully, fingers crossed, there's not any more launching of jets. Okay, so Onstage, hosted by Stampin' Up! Once a year, 3 locations around the world. It was Sydney, Long Beach, and Cologne, Germany this year. At these events, demonstrators get to see the brand new catalog, the new upcoming in colors, new product demonstrations, and learn about new techniques to bring back to your friends. So today I'm going to give you kind of just a little sneak peek of what I got at Onstage. Of course, it was 3 days long, so I can't share everything because it would be a really long video. But excited to be here. It looks like we have a couple people on vacation here. Hi, Mom from California. Hi, Jill. She's in Maryland tonight. So let's see. We are going to start with some swaps that I received. So demonstrators get to create projects that they swap with each other. Now, unfortunately, I did not bring any swaps just because I wanted to save room in my suitcase for souvenirs, things that I was going to bring back. I attended the Sydney Onstage. It was actually closer for me to fly to Australia than it was to fly to California, and I had never been to Australia before, so of course I was like, why not? Let's take the trip. I flew down there by myself. It was a 10.5-hour flight, did some sightseeing, and stayed a week in Australia. So I attended Onstage and then did some sightseeing. So let's go ahead and swap the camera. Like I said, I'm going to kind of show some of the swaps and goodies that I received from other demonstrators. Again, I did not bring any swaps, but demonstrators were very generous in sharing their creations with us. So let's go ahead and, oops, hit the wrong one. There we go. So first up, I packed all of my goodies in this paper pumpkin box because it helped it from getting squished. But one of my roommates, I shared an apartment with 3 other demonstrators that I had never met before, and they were lovely ladies. One of them gifted me this little pouch that says card makers, do it all night long, which I thought was really fun. So some of the goodies that I received here now this isn't all of them, I'm just showing some of them, but I got this little post-it note card book, which is fun. In that card making pouch, I received 2 bookmarks, one with a koala and one with a wombat. I got to see both of these at the Sydney, Australia Zoo, which was really fun. I got very close to a koala. I learned in Sydney you cannot touch koalas, but you could basically get right up against them. Fun fact, there's actually a cafe in Seoul that has wombats, so I would like to go there because then I could like actually hold one. So these were 2 bookmarks that I received. Very fun. I'm a big reader, so those are great. And then some of these swaps that I received, very beautiful designs. This one was very fun. This was from Kylie and Bruno Bertucci. They're Australian demonstrators, and I've met them a couple of times when I attended the Stampin' Up! Incentive trip. But this card is really fun. So it's very thick, but you flip it over and it has a flip up portion here, but then also this card flips out on these 2 sides, and then you have flip out cards here. So it's this whole garden scene. It's really beautiful and very intricate. This was an amazing swap that they did. So I will flip that back in here to try to get it all back together. It's got brads, so you can kind of twist it all back in, and one tucks up top, one tucks at the bottom. So that was a really cool swap. Don't ask me how to make this because I have no clue how they did this, but it was really beautiful. Another great swap here. Now, another reason that I did not swap is because their paper size in Australia is different than the States. So if I had brought these designs back and really liked one of them and wanted to share them with a friend, I don't have any envelopes that fit these cards. So, excuse me. These cards are just great cards that people shared with me, and I wanted to share with everybody else here too. So just kind of a sneak peek of some swaps. Now in my paper pumpkin box, I have lots of goodies that everybody gave me. So there's a demonstrator that when we went to Onstage in Houston, she lives on the island of Guam. And she actually attended Sydney Onstage, so I've kind of known her through that. There is a military base on Guam, so my best friend kind of linked up with her because she had been stationed there. But she gave me some of these macadamia nut candies that were made in Guam. I got some Japanese wafers from her as well. And then even though it wasn't my first Onstage event, it was my first in Sydney, so I got myself a little pin. This was a fun little treat bag from Kimberly Smith. She's an American demonstrator as well that had attended Sydney. Everybody received a Onstage pin, so I have a little cork board next to me that I put my things on. It actually is right now the 20th anniversary of Stampin' Up! In Australia and South Pacific, so they were handing out buttons. I got a cappuccino Nescafe. Now this was in this little packet here, but I had to take all the goodies out because it was too thick to pack in this little box. So I took all the goodies out here, some Kit Kats. I went to Japanese Daiso, which is actually different than Korean Daiso, and I got some little vinyl cases for myself. This is a little treat box, and let me open it up here. See, it's got this really cute little scissor charm on it that it's a little angel. It's really pretty. And then this pulls out and there's some jelly beans in there. The amount of creativity that these other demonstrators have just blows me away of what people can do with paper. Like, this is just a little matchstick box, but how beautiful would that be to receive just as a little gift from somebody? Now in Australia, I learned that they don't have the Easter bunny. They're trying to do something called the Easter bilby, which it kind of looks like a little bunny if you look it up, B-I-L-B-Y. They hop around like bunnies, but there's a chocolate store that is very big in Australia. I can't remember the name off the top of my head, but they make Easter bilbies. So this was something that a friend did, gifted me. And then one of my roommates gifted us these as well, and they're magnetic. So you can like hold your dies on them. They stand up on your desk. And so when you're working on projects, you can put dies in here so you don't lose them. And it's dual-sided. And with these, you can take off the paper and change out the designs how you'd like. This is just a little frame. I think I've seen these at IKEA before. And for shipping purposes on an airplane, they come apart. So just some little gifts that I received. There was more, but I wanted to just kind of show a little preview of everything that I got here. So let's put that away. Now let's talk about the stuff that I received from Stampin' Up. So one of the things that is really fun about Onstage is getting to preview the new catalog, get to try out new products, and you get products to take home with you. Now, again, this is not everything that I received. I did get some designer series paper. I just didn't want to grab that out and open it just yet, so I haven't opened that. But the first thing, these are the new Dewdrop Elements. It is Seaside Spray, I think, or wait, Secret Sea, sorry, Secret Sea, Old Olive and White, or clear, so you can color those, whatever color to match your project. These are the Sunset Sparkle Sequins. So kind of a sneak peek of some new products, the colorings that you can see coming soon. We all received the Sincerely Noted Mix and Match Ephemera Pack. These are great for beginner crafters or those that just want quick and easy projects that you don't have to stamp. These are very quick to put together. Ephemera packs are great when you're in a pinch and you need a project super fast. So ephemera pack there. There may be some stickers in there. I know that there's punch out pieces. I haven't, again, opened that just yet. Now, stamp sets. I received 3 stamp sets and a die set to coordinate with one of those. The first one is a family celebration. Now, this is great because it has a mixture of fonts to go with it, and also you can mix and match all of these sentiments to work with whatever project you're working on. So happy birthday to my, and then there's all these different sentiments that you can mix and match with these. Now, all of our stamps moving forward from a couple months ago are all photopolymer, and this is that new packaging that I had talked about, very slim and easy to store. So this is Family Celebration. The next one is Sending Salutations. So we made make and take projects using this stamp set, a great sentiment set for both inside and outside of projects. Mixture of fonts in here as well. And then I signed up for Onstage After Hours, which is a pay-to-play event that Stampin' Up! Hosts, and they choose one bundle and then you get to make projects with those. Now, unfortunately, I did not finish my projects because the paper size in Australia is different than here. So I brought my projects back that I could coordinate them with my paper size that I have here. So the stamp set that we used is Fern and Flora, and I did stamp all my pieces there using the new in colors, but I didn't actually put the projects together. So a great set because it has images and sentiments to go together with each other, but then also very fun. Like, this doesn't even have to be flower type of image, so you can really do some fun textural designs with that one. And then the coordinating die set to go along with that. And then we did have, like I mentioned, make and take projects. So this one I actually did the make and take for because they were note cards and envelopes, and I didn't put my sentiments on it because it was from this ephemera pack, and I didn't want to open the pack and then have all the pieces all over my luggage. So I'll be able to put sentiments on these now that I'm home. But we now have 12 by 12 mask stencils, and these are both of the sizes that we have, or the 2 different ones that we have. One that's this kind of like watery, or if you really want to go a different direction, it could be like a giraffe print. And then it's kind of hard to see, but in the background, these little dots, that is the second stencil as well. So we had 2 different projects, and then I, stenciled the front of the envelope as well. And then here's the sentiment that we can put on there, hey friend. But like I said, I have a variety of sentiments now from this ephemera pack, but I didn't want to open it and then lose all the little pieces. And then this project I did not finish because, again, are different sizes in paper. But this make and take project features new black and white designer series paper that we color with Stampin' Blends. And it did include a packet. These are the adhesive backed metal gems. And then this is why. So here is an Australian sized envelope, and here is the United States sized envelope. You can see kind of the difference. They're taller and a little bit wider on the side. So I wanted to bring mine home so that they would fit in a normal size envelope. And so I can just easily trim it down if needed, and then put these together in my craft room myself. So that is just a little bit of what we received from Stampin' Up. Now, we also received, which I'm going to work on today, but we went to a product experience where you were able to try new products and see all of the new in colors. So these are the 2025-2028 in colors. Our in colors stay around for 2 years, hence the term 2028. That's how long they're in for. We do have a returning color. Crisp Cantaloupe was one of our in colors that we had previously, and it was so popular that they decided to bring it back. But we also now have Barely Blush, Golden Glow, Hydrangea Hue, and Peaceful Pine. Now, one of the items that we received from Stampin' Up, because Paper Pumpkin is now going global. So previously, Paper Pumpkin was only available to the United States and Canada. I think they had it in Canada too. It was I think it was North America. And so Paper Pumpkin was not in Australia or Europe. Now they are making it global, and so we received April's Paper Pumpkin kit. Now this was only available to those outside of the United States because they already receive it in the States. And this is what we're going to work on today. I'm going to show you the 3 projects. So normally with Paper Pumpkin, it is a surprise. You don't know, you kind of know the theme of the projects each month, but you don't know what they're going to actually be. You'll know if it's a card or a treat packaging, but you don't actually get to see the projects. But because I went to Onstage in Sydney, you guys will get a sneak peek of the April 2026 Lakeside Retreat Paper Pumpkin kit. Now this actually coordinates with one of the brand new suites from the new catalog. Now, speaking of the new catalog, I have it right here, and I can't show you the inside, but I can show you the outside and how fun it looks. Now, Stampin' Up! Is doing something a little bit different moving forward. Currently, we have one annual catalog that runs from May to the end of April, and then throughout the year, 2 smaller mini catalogs, a holiday and then a spring. So moving forward, Stampin' Up! Is discontinuing the annual catalog, and we're moving to 3 smaller mini catalogs throughout the year. So our first one here is the May to August 2026 catalog. As you can see, we're moving back to portrait instead of landscape mode, which I am so thrilled about. I was not a big fan of our landscape mode mini catalogs. They were really hard to open and show people. They took up a lot of space on your desktop. So I'm very, another airplane maybe is hopefully not taking off because it gets really loud. But the Stampin' Up! Catalog is now going back to our portrait mode. Yes, it's taking off. It's gonna get really loud here. Sorry, guys. Maybe, or it's landing. I can't tell. Maybe that one was landing, hopefully. it gets really loud and I have the window open in my craft room because we're on the 3rd floor and they don't turn the cooling air on until April 1st. So it's a little hot up here. So I have the window open and it's actually nice outside today. Okay, so back to the catalog. If you have not placed an order with me in the last 6 months and you're not currently working with another Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, please fill out my catalog request sheet today. I need to finalize the catalog list, mailing list out today with Stampin' Up! And by today, I mean March 31st. It's Tuesday here in Korea. So ASAP for those in the States, if you want a catalog. I will send you one. It'll come directly from Stampin' Up! So you don't have to worry about it taking a while. Now, I can't show you inside like I said, but I can show you what it looks like. It is 87 pages, so a nice catalog. There's some really fun products, and I had hoped that my pre-order would have been here by now, but it shipped last Tuesday. It usually gets here very quick, actually faster than when I lived in Rhode Island. So hopefully it'll be here this week. But if you want a catalog, you can type in the comments below. Maybe I already have your address that you want one. If not, fill out my catalog request link. There's a link in the description of this video and I will send you a copy. All right, let's jump into our project today. Like I said, this is a sneak peek of the April 2026 Lakeside Retreat Paper Pumpkin Kit. Only available to those that attended Stampin' Up! Onstage in Sydney or Europe. So if you attended in the States, you do not have this. But I am excited to show you guys. This is a paper pumpkin that coordinates with one of the new suites from the mini catalog, May to August. I have to get used to saying that. It's called Waterside Retreat. I did order it, again, not arrived just yet. But Lakeside Retreat here. Now, this actually includes a Stampin' Spot of one of the new in colors. This is Peaceful Pine. So that's one of the 5 new in colors. You receive a stamp set that is exclusive to this kit. We have these fun little rock kind of embellishments. Supplies to create 9 projects. They are 3 different designs, 3 of each card. Now these are more masculine projects. They do have stamps that say Happy Father's Day, but if you do not need Father's Day projects, there are other sentiments in there that you can mix and match with these. So just because it says Happy Father's Day, you can always switch it out for a happy birthday as well. So here are the 3 projects. This one is really fun. I think this is my favorite one out of all 3. I love these masculine kind of like watercolor looks to these. Like I said, I purchased the Waterside Retreat bundle, actually the whole suite. I think it is just beautiful. Here is another one. Now this card, it says older, wiser, better, happy birthday. Again, this could be a masculine or a feminine card. It does not matter who you give this card to. Very fun, beachy theme for that one. And then this one, definitely more of that masculine tone, but again, you could switch out Happy Father's Day for that happy birthday sentiment. It does fit in this little part here. Now, if you've never received Paper Pumpkin before, it comes with everything you need minus adhesive to create the projects that are in here. I love Paper Pumpkin because sometimes you just don't feel like designing projects yourself. You want everything already pre-cut, ready to go for you. These are great for on-the-go crafting. When I would attend scrapbook crops, I would take these because then I don't have to bring a ton of supplies with me. And you're talking most of the time anyways, so it's perfect to be able to just grab the box and go to an event. All right, so it also includes full color instructions on how to put all 3 of the projects together. And then on the back side, there is, it tells you the coordinating kit colors. So it's Azure Afternoon, Balmy Blue, Cajun Craze, Crisp Cantaloupe, so it does have new in colors in these. Gray Granite, Misty Moonlight, Old Olive, Peaceful Pine, Pecan Pie, Pool Party, Soft Sea Foam, and Very Vanilla. Now this is what the stamp set looks like. So you can kind of see all the different sentiments that go in it. This dad and son, that's 2 different stamps there. So it does have a good variety. And again, you can always substitute with whatever you have in your craft supply as well. It comes with a roll of tear and tape adhesive. We aren't going to use that. We're going to use our trusty multi-purpose liquid glue. Just for me, it's a little bit easier to put together, but you can substitute with your tear and tape that's in there. And then it comes with these pieces for all of the projects. So pre-cut, die-cut pieces that are ready to go just to put together the projects. So let's go ahead and jump in. We are going to start with this project here, and I am making these projects exactly like the kit, so you can see what you would get if you sign up for Paper Pumpkin. Now to sign up for this kit, oh no, somebody says it looks like I'm frozen, so hopefully I'm not showing frozen on Facebook. So if you aren't on, it looks like maybe YouTube is frozen. Nope. If you hit refresh maybe, Barb, it may work. If not, it doesn't look like I'm frozen on Facebook. So if you hop over on Facebook, it should be okay over there too. If not, this is all recorded so you can watch it later. Hopefully YouTube just, I'm gonna close this out. Maybe it's eating up my bandwidth or something. All right, so like I said, designing the projects exactly like they are on the kit so you can see what you're getting. If you like this kit, you can subscribe to Paper Pumpkin. You have until April 10th to get this exact kit. After that, you would receive May's kit. So this is until April 10th for this project. All right, first project. Let's get this out of the way. And for this one, we will need these punched out pieces. So we're gonna need this strip of plaid here. We need the fish, and that's it for that. On this piece, we need one of these sentiments. Now they actually give you, so like I said, there's 9 projects, so 3 of each card, but they give you 4 of these little labels, so you can actually make more projects with those. This little brown flag piece, and then for our sentiment, this rectangle that fits onto that brown. And that's it for this one, so we can move all that to the side. Okay, let's do some stamping. So for this project, we need the sentiment that says, Happy Father's Day, you are an inspiration. Oh, we need the birds here, so you can see what stamps we're using. Oh, there goes a plane. It's gonna get loud, maybe. Yep, that one's taking off. Very loud. The joys of trying to do a Facebook Live during the day. Alright, so let's see. You are an inspo. We need that one, that one. Okay, so this one has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of the stamps. So we need the cattails, this little kind of twisty design, the birds, the Happy Father's Day, and the You Are an Inspiration. So we're gonna start with, I kind of need the card base to finish the project. So here is the card base. It already has that really pretty pre-designed design to it, but you could actually use this backside. You could cut these in half and you create 2 different projects with this one card base. But like I said, I'm just making these projects like the kit includes. So you can always, like I say, I call it going rogue and do however you want for these projects. So there is our card base. Now first we're gonna stamp the cattails and the birds in this peaceful pine. Now the new stamp pads from Stampin' Up! And the 5 new ink colors are gonna be our new stamp pad design. Oh, here comes another plane. Very loud. We're gonna stamp this down in the lower corner. These new stamp pads are magnetic, so they are very easy to open and close. I know a lot of people with arthritis or kind of hand problems have a hard time opening our current ink pads. So these new ink pads are magnetic. The lid just comes right off. They're magnetic on the sides, so you can put the ink pad and lid next to each other, or you can stack them as well. And I got to use them. They are now felt pads, kind of like our Stampin' Spots. So no more foam ink pads. They're going towards the felt ink pads. We used to have those, and I'm glad we're going back to the felt. They are not as squishy as the foam pads, so it's very easy to ink up your stamps. And I really like that it kind of holds its shape when you stamp. If you are a heavy stamper, then you're not going to have kind of indentations like you did with the current foam pads. So I added Stampin' Dimensionals to the back of this plaid strip, and dimensionals are included in the kit as well. And we're just going to add this straight down the side. So we stamped the cattail and the birds up here with the peaceful pine. We're gonna stamp our sentiment now. So we have that little stamped or die cut piece. Normally when I use paper pumpkin kits, I like to grab my large ink pad to work with, but because my pre-order hasn't arrived with this color just yet, we're gonna use the little Stampin' Spot that comes with the kit. So there's our sentiment. And then this little piece, we're gonna stamp 2 of the swirls, one on top, one on bottom. We may have another takeoff here. It's okay, you can enjoy the lovely sounds while I stamp. That's so loud. Father's Day right in the middle. Like I said, if you don't need that Father's Day, the happy birthday fits there as well. And we're gonna glue this to that little brown flag piece. And now we're just going to assemble the rest of it. So we're gonna start with this little flag piece. Now, because we added dimensionals to the back of this strip here, we only want to add dimensionals to the back side of the left half of the sentiment. If you add dimensionals to the whole thing, one side is going to be higher than the other. So we're going to add 2 dimensionals here, and then the other side is just going to be a little bit of liquid glue. One more plane. There. Our little sentiment piece, we're just going to glue on the top there. So again, dimensional glue. So loud. Don't they know I'm trying to do work here? Same thing with the little fish here. I'm glad the planes aren't bothering a lot of you guys. I'm sorry. Of course I can't control that. I mean, I can't call the government and tell them to stop, but it's just loud. Okay, now the final touch, we have those little rock embellishments. So we are going to add those. And one of the larger size, one of the thinner, smaller size, and that is our first paper pumpkin project. Quick and easy. You can see how easy that was to put together. You could even, if you're wanting to craft these on the go, you could even pre-stamp all of your little sentiment pieces and just bring your glue and just assemble everything together. So very easy project to put together. Great Father's Day cards. I know Father's Day is not until June, I think, but still good to have those projects on hand. Okay, our next one here is the bike one. Really pretty. Again, any gender for this project. So for this one, we need, let's get our project pieces out here. We will need one of these pre-printed pieces. We have, where did my pre-printed piece go that I had? It's okay, we'll just choose another one. So this design for our card base, we need one of the green sentiment pieces here. The white one is this rounded little piece. And then we also need, there it is. This one we need the bike, and that's it for this. So you just have to be careful punching these little pieces out. All right, pre-printed card base, so we can just fold that in half. And then we are going to glue down this blue paper right to the middle. Now I found my first card had a little overhang, so I just used my scissors to trim it up, but it looks like this piece is a little bit better. So, man, they are really going at it this morning. I chose the wrong day to do a Facebook Live. At the same time, so if I had known their flying schedule, I would have chosen a different time, but you know, it's always a surprise. And it's a loud surprise. The worst is when they fly at night and you're trying to sleep and it's just so loud, and yeah, just gets annoying sometimes, especially trying to do a Facebook Live. Okay, hurry up. So those are F-16s. So if you were in Tucson, a lot louder than what Tucson is. All right, 2 cattails and the birds. And we're gonna add our, we're gonna glue this down first. So I stamped that directly onto this pre-printed design just to kind of give it a little bit more life. I think my glue is almost, still get a little bit of life out of there. Come on. May have to switch to some contraband glue. There we go. Okay, maybe they're done now, for a little bit at least. Okay, on the back of the bike, we're gonna add our Stampin' Dimensionals. Pop this up a little bit. There we go. And that's just gonna go right here on the beach. And then our sentiment is older, wiser, better. So let's see, where is that one? Right here. And these can kind of go away. Need that one, the birds, that one, and happy birthday. All right. See, now without the planes, it's nice and quiet. You don't have to worry about loud jet noise. There. And then our happy birthday will go right here. There we go. And now we can assemble the rest. So the back of these, again, we're gonna add dimensionals, but I am just going to cut one dimensional piece in half because we don't need a whole thick one. And that will go under our bike. Here we go. So go right there. And then our happy birthday will get popped up as well, and that is gonna go underneath that. Right there. All right, we're gonna come in with our little rock embellishments, and we're gonna add 2 of the larger size. And they're gonna go there and here. And then 1 of the thin ones over there. And that is our second project. Very simple to put together, easy. Like I said, a great happy birthday card, no matter who you're gonna gift that to. And with this, with Paper Pumpkin, like I said, you can kind of go rogue and do these projects however you'd like. You could still make the same project, but in landscape mode. Just turn, this would still fit right in there. Just kind of turn things a little bit differently, but a really fun, easy project and a great birthday card to have on hand. All right. My favorite card this week. I love this one. The cabin, the little oars with the life vest, definitely my favorite project this week. All right, this one, we need the rest of the pieces from this little die cut sheet. So we will punch all these out. So 3 cards fit, all these pieces are for 3 cards. So you have 3 of these little die cut shapes. And just have to be careful with them. There we go. You will need then this brown circle and then the blue flag. So 2 cards from this one. Yes, the rocks are cute gems. We used to have, they were stone embellishments. So they were kind of like this, but they were this color and like a gray granite, kind of basic gray color. They sold out very quickly. So I never got those. I'm glad they kind of brought them back for this kit. I wish they had brought them back for the suite that coordinates with this, but alas, they didn't. But if you get the Paper Pumpkin kit, as you can see, this project doesn't use any of the rocks. So you could have quite a bit left over to be able to make other projects with. Now this card, because it is a bunch of layering, we are going to kind of work our way from the top down. So we're going to start with our little die cut pieces here. Like I said, normally I start with the card base and work myself up. Okay, this is done. This one's dead. And we're gonna use some, just because I have it in my desk drawer, we're gonna use some contraband right here. Let's see, there we go. And it's gonna go right in the middle of that. I have more of the Tombow glue, but it's in my closet back there. When I moved, I kind of had to rearrange my room a little bit, so I have drawers of supplies that I put in the closet this time, and so I don't want to get up in the middle of the video and have to grab that. So we're just going to grab the liquid glue that is in my desk drawer right here. We also need this little sentiment piece, and that sentiment says, "You are a lifesaver," which goes great with the kind of oars and life jacket look here. So we're going to stamp that, not in the middle and not all the way to the left, but kind of off center just a little bit. And then while we have our little ink pad, we're also gonna do our sentiment. So this one says, thanks Dad. Now this one, this stamp, is two together. So we have the thanks and the dad. So you could change this to be thanks son if you wanted to create that type of project, or you could just do happy birthday instead. So I just put two of the stamps on one block to help save on stamping and making sure everything is aligned. But again, with these projects, you can use whatever sentiments you want. There aren't specific to Father's Day cards. I may have done that one too far down, so we will see. Okay. Nope, that works. And there we go. So it stamps all of it at the same time. Now we're gonna add our sentiment here. We're not gonna add glue to the entire thing because as you can see, it does hang off the edge of the circle. So you just wanna add glue to right in the center of this little part here, right below the cabin. This is like what I envision my retirement house to be, like a little cabin in the woods. But then I also want to live in Tucson, and so there's no cabin nor woods in Tucson. Maybe I could find a little cabin like in Pine Top, Arizona or something. It could be my summer house where it is actually a lot cooler than Tucson. Now it's hard to see, but down here we have one of the cattails and then there's another little one poking out right there. So we're gonna stamp that directly onto our card base. Again, this card could be either orientation if you'd like, but we're gonna make it exactly like the kit so you can see. And we're gonna add the cattails. Yes, we're gonna do that first. So ink those up. Now this is kind of an estimate on where your circle is gonna go. So I just kind of did a stamp there and a stamp on the other side and hope that it peeks through. If not, that's okay. As you can see on that one, it didn't really peek through very much, but that is all right. We're gonna add dimensionals to the back of this piece. These little dimensional piece papers all over the house, even though you try to contain them. And then that's gonna go right there. Our little sentiment is gonna go onto the bottom. Again, like that first project, we already add dimensionals to one part, so we're gonna add liquid glue to the top, dimensionals to the bottom, so that we're not double stacked. Kathy says she loves Pine Top. I love Pine Top too. There is, when we went, we have a kayak that, you know, we stored in the States. But we took our kayak and we rented a tiny cabin. It was so cute. The littlest cabin. I loved it. But alas, there's no room for a craft room in a tiny cabin. So I couldn't see myself like living there all the time, but I love Pine Top. I think our goal now though is when my husband retires from the military is to move back to Tucson. We loved it there. I loved the crafting community there. I loved, yes, it's hot, but it's, you know, everybody says it's a dry heat. It is a dry heat, but I would rather it be 110 than humidity like it is here in Korea. It's just summer, not looking forward to summer. Just ugh, very humid. Okay, so we're gonna add our little oars here. Again, we did the little dimensional at the bottom. We're gonna add the the little glue to the top. Kathy Robinson, retire now. Andy still has time in the military. He can't retire just yet. So he's got, after this, 2 years. But the goal is to hopefully get him stationed back at Davis-Monthan so that we could just retire there. But you know the Air Force, you never know what you're gonna get. You never know. But yes, my goal is to go back to Arizona. But we sold our house there, and I'm sad because I loved that house, but it was not our forever house. So when we move back, because I want to go back, I need a bigger craft room. Everybody always needs a bigger craft room. Okay, there's our project. Lots of dimensionals on this one. You can kind of see it's all kind of popped up onto the side there. But this is my favorite project of the 3 from this paper pumpkin kit. Kathy, yes. Again, yes, Arizona, for sure. Oh, I forgot to add this to that last project. Oops. Okay, well, here you can see what it looks like with and without. So there's the little thing that I forgot. So there's that little wood piece. There's what it looks like when you forget. I think it still looks fine. Either way, if you forget a little piece, it's okay. All right, let's bring in all 3 projects and you can let me know which one is your favorite this week. So we have the Lifesaver cabin, we have the bike on the beach, and we have, let's bring it here, and we have the fish. So let me know which one is your favorite. This one, Lifesaver, definitely my favorite this week. Now, as a reminder, Paper Pumpkin, you can get this exact kit. Normally, you do not get to see a sneak peek of what's included in Paper Pumpkin each month, but you get this exact kit if you register for Paper Pumpkin by April 10th. So you have a little over 10 days to register for this kit. So there, if you are wanting to learn more about Paper Pumpkin, there's a link in the description of this video, and I can email it to you or send it to you by message. So I hope you guys liked the projects this week. Now, thank you all for joining me. I'm hoping to get back into Makers Monday more. I kind of mentioned on my post a little bit ago, I kind of got into that little, lost my mojo a little bit, but I'm looking forward to receiving my pre-order hopefully this week, and then I can create some fun projects with that. So let's plan on doing Makers Monday again next week. I look forward to seeing you then, and until then, have a great week. Bye!